Hey guys, it's Bee, and today I'm doing an unboxing and my marked book haul. This month I ended up getting 19 books, one of which I don't have access to because it isn't actually in this box that's taunting me across the room that has my birthday present in it. So I can't show it to you, but that one is going to be the second book of the William Shakespeare's Star Wars. And it's, I think, called The Empire Striketh Back. I'm really excited to get it just because I really thought this one was hilarious. And so I just can't wait till my fiance gets home so that I can have him open the box so he can give me that part. Because that's not my birthday present, just the rest of it is. These are the two packages I got. You cannot see where I live because that's creepy, guys. I'm sorry. I will open the easy to open one first. I'm pretty sure I know which one this is because I only ordered two books from Amazon this month. The rest I bought physically. And this one is Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. It is a book about a man who has a low IQ, and they choose him for a scientific study that is also being done on a rat named Algernon. That's why there's a mouth on, or a rat on the front. And so it's a really touching story. You can see his IQ slowly getting higher by just reading the letters he's writing, and it's just a really, really good book. And I had to own it because it's one of my favorite sci-fi books, and I didn't have a physical copy of it. So, right, on to the next one, and it has a pull tab, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and hope that it doesn't break, like most of them do. That's satisfying. Ooh, it's so pretty. And this is Hyde by Daniel Levine. It is a retelling of the mysterious case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I do believe it comes with the actual book in it, like the actual original book in it. That's one of my favorite books because I just thought it was really creepy. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember The Pagemaster, but that was one of my favorite movies when I was really little because I loved to read, and it was a movie where a guy turned into a cartoon and all his books came to life, and it was just really awesome. And he met in the horror section Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I thought that was really cool, and I didn't. And so I went to the library to check out the book, and they only really had the crappy kids abridged edition. So I read that, and after that, this became one of my favorite books. So I'm really, really excited to read it, and also look at it. It's so pretty. Next I have several books that were given to me. The first is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. My fiance actually broke my copy that I had. He borrowed it once to take to work because he used to work security, and so he ended up, I think he left in his car for a long time and broke, and like the cover got really messed up. So I got angry with him and told him that he owed me a new book, and he finally replaced it. The second book is actually another book that my fiance is replacing for me. He also ended up leaving the copy of Bearing an Hourglass that he had left in his car, and it got really crushed, and then when we moved to the Northwest, it got mold on it, so after that it was just not salvageable at all. And so I made him finally replace this one. This is the second book in the Incarnations of Immortality series by Pierce Anthony. It's one of my favorite book series. It follows real humans who are chosen to be these incarnations. There's death, there's time, there's the fates, there's Satan, God, there's Mother Earth, Gaia, and who else? Oh, War. I always forget War because the War book is actually my least favorite. But it's a really good series, and I'm glad I finally got this book back because it felt incomplete without it. The next book I got is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. I got this from my future father-in-law. He bought my fiance a book, or a game, not a book. And so he was like, pick something, and I'm like, I want this book. And so he sent it to me. This is the first book of the First Law trilogy. I haven't started it yet, but I'm really excited to read it because I've heard really good things about this series on Our Fantasy. The first book I bought in March is actually kind of funny. And I bought a trade paperback is because I had a mass market and it was super tiny and it would look ridiculous next to my hardcover of Words of Radiance, so I bought this one. It also has really pretty illustrations and a cool map at the front, if I can get to it. So it has really interesting maps of Roshar, and in the back it has one of Shadesmar. So, coolness. Next book I got is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, and the best part about it is that right there! It's signed! It's so pretty. I love it, and it's such a good book. If you haven't read The Way of Kings, you should pick it up and then buy this immediately. It is such a good book. The next book I bought is The Golem and the Genie by Helene Wecker? Helene? I'm sorry. This book is about a golem who is built by a rabbi who is into more of the Kabbalic mystical arts, and he builds her for a man. And the other character is a genie who got trapped by a wizard in a flask a long time ago. These two find themselves in 1899 New York, and eventually they find each other, and they become pretty much soulmates and just a lot of stuff happens in between. And it goes into a lot of morals, a lot of stuff about religion. It's a really interesting book. The next book I got is a very pretty copy of Van Gogh the Life. It is written by Stephen Nafe and Gregory White-Smith. It's so pretty. Didn't buy it just because it's pretty. Van Gogh's actually one of my favorite artists. And this is before Doctor Who, by the way. He had some problems with depression, and a lot of people thought he might have been bipolar, and I'm bipolar, so I kind of feel a kinship to him when I see his work. Next book I got is The Best of All Possible World by Karen Lord. The reason I found this is through Goodreads, actually. During the top books of 2013 awards, this was on the sci-fi list, and the synopsis kind of made me want to buy it. Basically, it's about a race of aliens who are dying out, and there's another group of aliens who are similar to them, and so they're trying to figure out how to, you know, pretty much repopulate, from what I can understand, repopulate the one dying out alien race. The next book I got is Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Kowal. I've already read this, and this is a really good book. This book is Pride and Prejudice meets magic, and it's so good, and the main character is smart and funny, and she's fantastic. Anyone who is a fan of Jane Austen or, you know, that type of literature needs to read this. It's such a good book. The next two books I got are The Black Prism and The Blinding Knife by Brent Weeks. This one I already read. This one I'm in the middle of. These books are about a kingdom where magic is made by color. They draft colored luxin, which can form pretty much anything. The more color you use, the more color you draft, the further you hasten your death. There's only one person who can use all of the colors throughout the spectrum, and he is the Prism. And basically, there's a lot of intrigue. This is actually going to be the subject of my my first book chat, because it's such a good book. So I'm just really excited to talk about this book, and I will let you know more later. The next book I got is The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks. It is about a sword and magic and epic quests. And I've actually never read anything by Terry Brooks. People keep recommending me this, so I'm going to read it. It's actually on the NPR Sci-Fi Fantasy Top 100 list, which I've kind of been slowly but surely getting throughout my life. So I wanted to try this one. The next book I got secondhand at the Half Price Books outlet. It is Skeleton Crew by Stephen King. I believe this is one of his short story collections. Let me make sure. Yeah, 22 short stories. I own a lot of Stephen King, so I will probably start reading this soon. The next book I got is Lord Fowl's Bane by Stephen Donaldson. It is the first in the chronicles of Thomas Covenant, The Unbeliever series. This book is about a man who has leprosy and gets tossed into a fantastical world, and he doesn't believe it's real. He does some questionable things at first, but then starts realizing that this is probably real, and tries to set up, go about his redemption. That's pretty much all I really know about it. The next book I got is The Lost World by Michael Crichton. I actually never owned this. I've read it, but I never owned this one. This cover actually annoys me because it matches my old cover that my fiance ruined. So I'm just sitting there like, my covers don't match, one is taller than the other, and yeah. But this is obviously the sequel to Jurassic Park, and also the dinosaurs do not go to California. They don't do that. No. The last book I got is The Dance of Cloaks. I read an excerpt of this at work one time. I don't remember, but it sounded really, really good. And so I want to actually start reading this series. It has 3 books out so far. I don't have to sit there and wait for something to come out. I've been doing that a lot with fantasy series. I'll just pick something up and not realize that there is like 2 books left or 1 book left and there's no release date at all, or there is a release date and it's like forever away. So I'm really glad that at least this one has 3 books out. So those are the books I bought in March. If you like my videos, please subscribe, hit the like button. All of my social media stuff is in the links below. And I will see you soon. Bye!